Okay. Okay. Yeah, the original Blair Witch is a bad movie, but that's not what we're here to debate. Pacifism, what are you trying to debate me on? You can introduce yourself however you want. I don't know how you describe yourself, so go right ahead.
I don't I'm not this is the first time doing this, so I'm not like into describing myself. I'm just a person with like opinion
Are you a
and
conservative? Are you a liberal? Are you a leftist? Are you a
no.
white nationalist? What are you? How do you describe yourself?
I don't claim any party. I just there's right and wrong, but there's really just opinions. And
Oh,
some are right and some are wrong.
okay. All right. Fine. What do you want to debate me on? What did I say that got you so upset that you had to fucking push your way into here?
I've been trying to get in here for days
Yeah, I
since
know
last
you
time we
have.
talked
Okay, but you wanted to
talked to
talk
that
about this.
guy.
So what do you want to? What's the
Well, no,
main?
was the girl pink aisle thing.
Yeah. What about it?
Do you think that's forced? You really think that's forced upon girls or something? I'm sorry, like I came in like the end of that, and I was like, wait, she doesn't really believe this. It's just a toy section for girls.
Do you think it's weird that the entire toy section for girls is pink? You don't think that? Do you?
No,
Okay, no,
no,
no.
no, no,
Here's
no,
what
no.
I'll ask.
Hold on.
Here's what I'll ask. I'll ask a more specific question. Do you think that there is something inherent about girls that makes them like pink?
Uh, I would have to say no, probably not.
Okay,
But
well then there's some level of societal forcing, right?
no,
Okay, well then if
I
it's
think
not
it's
inherent and they're not being forced, then what is it?
it's a freedom of choice. The
Do children
marketers,
have a freedom of choice? Really?
I mean, they're being parented, so no.
So
So it's up to
okay,
the
so the
parents.
parents are forcing it on them.
Wait,
Okay,
wait.
I'm really
The
quick.
parent,
I
wait,
literally
hold on.
used to work at a grocery store, and sometimes we'd hand out things to kids, like, little candy, a little toy or something like that, depending on, what the parent bought. I've seen parents literally disallow their little boys from picking a
I
pink
hear
one.
Boomer. Boomer
And I'm
sneaking
sorry, hold on, give me
around.
just a
Careful
second. There,
now.
someone
Boomer,
subscribe.
step slow, y'all. Boomer.
You're
Okay, they're
good.
done. I've literally heard parents disallow their boys from picking the pink one and force their girls into picking like pink or purple ones. Is that not like what is that?
Bad judgment on the parents.
Okay, so it sounds like this is like a common thing that happens that like a
Well, no, no,
lot
no,
of
no, no,
parents
no, no.
push this on their
I
kids.
don't. No, no. To say a lot, that's speculation.
To say a lot,
A
the
lot
entire
is
section is pink.
no, no. There, no. Wait, hold
The
on.
entire girl
Wait.
section at
Hold,
every
whoa,
store, the
whoa.
entire girl section at every store is just pink.
Wait, no. But you're okay. You're labeling like that's just the girls section when it's not just the girls section. It's a section for girls. Like the
Yeah, the
whole toy
girls
section
section.
is for girls and boys.
No,
But there's
no, the section is literally labeled girls' toys. Do you want me to look up pictures? Are you really going to argue that it's not actually labeled
well,
girls' toys?
no, well, I'm not saying like that's not just girl toys. Okay, it's just it just happens to be a whole like you're arguing that there's a whole section of pink and that's only for girls. Obviously, that's for girls. That section is for girls. It's girls dolls, pinks. It's girl stuff. But the whole section is for kids.
The whole
But there
section
happens
is
to
very
be
clearly for girls. Like, it's for girls.
yes,
You
yes,
just admitted it. Okay,
that
okay.
one.
Here's what I'll argue. Do you think that that's and generally in society that parents will oftentimes take their boys to those sections?
No. Why
Why?
would anybody take their boys to that section?
Why? Is there something inherent about boys where they dislike pink?
Why? Okay, hold on. But let me back up a little bit.
Yeah, you
What's
better back
wrong with
up.
having? Oh, why was there a problem where there's a girl section and a boy section? It's not just like the boy section is all blue and everything. It's just a
You're
random
right.
amount
My
of
argument
toys,
was literally that
and there's
boys.
a
My argument was literally that boys have far more options than girls do. That girls are forced into the pink stuff. That
no,
their parents force them
no,
into
they're
it.
not.
That
They're, wait,
every
hold on,
year.
wait.
Okay, wait. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. When you have a little baby, when someone has a baby, do you not think that there's some level of like aggressively like dressing them and like, say they have a baby girl, don't you think they dress them in like dresses and like pink shoes and pink clothes and like put their hair, like let them grow their hair long and put their hair in pigtails? Like, don't you think that they do this to girls more than they do it to boys?
Why is that? Wait, hold on. Why is that a problem that they do this with
Did I
girls
say it
more
was a
often than
problem
boys?
yet? Did we get to the problem
No,
yet? No,
but-
you are moving the
okay, I'm
goalposts.
sorry.
You are stepping away from the actual thing that I'm asking and trying to deflect away from it. So, do you think that this is something that gets forced onto girls? And then on the other end of it, does it get forced onto boys? That boys have to wear, trucks with like monster trucks on them and dinosaurs, and they can only wear like blue, and that wearing pink is bad, and they can't wear, like shoes that have like bows or flowers on them, and that their clothes don't oftentimes have like flowers or butterflies or stuff like that. Whereas the girls they do have that. Why?
Okay, so in not so descriptive explanation, it's kind of like the commonplace of what we do with girls and boys. What you do with girls and what you do with boys is totally different, and that's just
Why?
how you grow up. Like you don't
Why?
do this with your girl. Really, because the girls and boys are different.
Why? Why are they different in that way?
What do you mean? Why are they different? They're.
I've literally
how are
been.
they-
I've
how-
literally.
hold on,
I'm sorry.
how are they
I've literally
the
been
same?
arguing.
How are they the same? How are they the same?
But they're children. Children can. I like butterflies. I also like dinosaurs. Why? I can like both of these things. It doesn't have to be like a boys can only like this and girls can only like this. And how have you argued? You were literally arguing before that no one is forcing them, but now you're arguing that actually, wait, we are forcing them. It's just the way that it is. So which one is it?
No. Nobody. No, I'm just. No, I literally said nothing about forcing them or not. I'm just saying that this is.
Wait,
what
no,
we've
you
always
said that
done
we
with a
don't
boy
force
and
them.
girl.
You actually did say that.
What?
You said that we don't force them. You said, no, we don't force them. This is just the way that it is. Which, these are contradictory positions. We are forcing them.
How are we forcing them?
Okay.
Well, no. Okay, wait, hold on. I want to go back to the toy section. You're saying we're forcing the girl section. There's not forcing a girl section. There's just a section for girls. That's not forcing anyway. You're saying that boys have all these options. You're just saying all the boys just have all these options. When no, all the kids have all the options. There's just a certain section for girls
but when there's
who are into pink stuff. That doesn't necessarily make it just for girls.
Okay,
Or
other than the
boys
fact
have
that
a
it's
better
literally
option.
labeled the girl section, and other than the fact that we can look at any parent ever and see that the way that they have pushed this gender on their this performative aspect of their gender onto their kids, where like I've already said, and like you would agree with, when people have a little girl or a little boy, okay. Do you have any kids?
No.
How old are you?
35.
35. Are you?
Yeah.
Why don't you wear dresses?
I don't look good in a dress.
Is that
I
really
look good in a
why?
dress.
Is it because you don't look good in? Do you go and try them on and then realize that you didn't look good in them?
But okay, hold on. What's wrong with not wanting to wear a dress?
I never
but
said
not
there was
having
anything
any-
wrong with it. I
Okay,
never
but
said that there was
that's what
anything
you're
wrong with
implying.
it.
Okay,
No, it's
I
not.
understand that, but that's what. Okay, but you're asking me why not? Why don't?
Yeah, why don't you?
I just don't like dresses.
Why
I just
don't you
like-
though? Why don't you like them?
Because in I don't think I would look good in a dress.
Why? Why don't you? Why do you feel that way
I don't
about
feel
yourself?
comfortable. I don't feel comfortable in a dress because it doesn't. Wait, okay. So should we be arguing about what society standards are and not?
I'm literally, this
Everybody-
entire conversation is arguing about societal standards. That's what I'm here to do.
Societal standards.
So
what's
my
wrong
entire
with,
argument here, my entire
keeping-
argument is that society has these standards, and these standards may have come naturally at some point. Maybe, I don't know. We could look back in that, but maybe these things could have come organically at some point in time. But the problem is, after we started aggressively marketing, we people are trying to what's the language I want to use here? After marketing got super intense, super aggressive, TV, radio, part of the problem is that these ideas have forced rigid binaries, essentially rigid. So you probably wouldn't wear high heels and leggings, right? Probably.
I want to be comfortable. Hello.
Well, I mean, they're really comfortable. I will be honest, they're really
No.
comfortable. High heels a little less so,
Okay,
depending on which ones
cool.
you want. But leggings,
Yeah, exactly.
leggings are so comfortable. Tights and stuff like
Okay,
that, they
okay.
feel so good on
Hold
my
on.
legs. I love them so much. And dresses, oh my gosh, not having anything constricting my legs and having them free is so comfortable.
Well, Men wear kilts, like Scarlet
Some,
men wear
okay,
kilts.
but
Like,
most men don't wear kilts. That's
a
not a
thing.
societally accepted thing, like in America, right?
Wait, hold that in America, but
Okay, yes,
are we
there are
just talking
some
about
places.
America or the world?
Okay, well, if
Like,
you want to talk about the world, then we could go like way, way, way more intense. I'm talking about.
the world is better than America.
Okay, well, sure, but this isn't really helping your position. But like most people like can't wear like if you work a professional job, I could wear a dress to a professional job, but you couldn't wear a kilt to that same professional job, right? You think
I
you
mean,
could? You think of like wearing like a suit and tie? Like you think that a person in that kind of job, they would be okay with you wearing a kilt?
no, they wouldn't be okay wearing a kilt, but
Why?
today and age, like the change that's happening, the change
Yeah, and
that
I'm
is
here pushing for
slowly
that change. I
happening.
want the change to happen. That's what I'm talking about here. See, the thing that I'm
Okay, I
talking
understand
about is that our because of our ideas about masculinity and femininity, we force this onto our next generation constantly, where little girls are expected to be, demure, expected to, stay in the house, expected to be calm, expected to, take a lot of abuse from boys essentially, and boys are expected to be rowdy, expected to, go outside and play with sticks and, hit each other, and like these are things that we put them in these boxes, right?
Wait, do we put them in the boxes, or this is just the process of like raising a child? So okay.
Wait,
okay,
it's not the
okay,
process
okay,
of raising a
okay,
child.
okay.
I know tons of people who raise children who don't put their children in these boxes, who instead say, actually, little Jimmy, if you want to paint your nails, and wear makeup, that's okay. I know you're 5 years old. It doesn't matter. If you want to do that, that's fine.
Okay, you okay. So you admit that you know people that do that they raise their kid that way.
Yes,
They,
I
they
admit
don't
that
gender.
I know that there are people who don't follow these exact strict codes because they're actively trying to eschew them. Yes, because they know that these things got forced on them and they don't want that to happen.
You're saying force.
Is it
like,
is it not forced to raise a kid and say
I don't
you
think
can't wear
it's-
nail polish if you don't want to, or if you want to? Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Obviously.
Also,
that is
Pixie, thank
force,
you so much for the
but
raid. I'm sorry
saying
that I can't
it's
say
not-
more. Very generous. Very, very kind. Thank you.
It's not like people are. Not a lot of people are doing that. I can see. I know a lot.
Wouldn't you say most
trying-
people? Wouldn't you say most people fall into the habit of doing like the strict gender roles?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Well. I mean. Okay. Yes. But.
Okay, because
what's-
that's literally
okay.
all I'm saying. Most people fall into this habit of saying there are these strict gender roles, and you have to fall into them. That if you're a boy, you can't wear a dress. That if you're a boy, if I have a kid and it's a boy, that he can't wear dresses and do his makeup and paint his nails because those are for girls.
I wish I could come up with you with a stronger argument about.
There isn't
why
really a
this
strong argument
is-
because I'm not saying anything insane. I'm saying things that have been
Okay.
pretty understood feminist theory since the 50s.
Okay, but were you raised traditionally as a boy?
Yes,
Okay, and look how beautiful you turned out now, right?
because I eschewed that.
Okay, no, but like,
Because I looked at it and
You know,
okay,
like,
so this is actually part of the
hold on.
problem. I actually
No, 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 no,
world,
wait,
I'm
wait,
sorry, in a
wait,
world
wait,
where
wait.
I didn't have that forced on me, I may
No.
not have even transitioned. That might have been a thing. I don't know. I don't know what it's like to live in that world.
Wait,
if
so-
I felt more
hold on.
comfortable being like a boy who could do like makeup and like paint his nails and stuff like that, maybe I wouldn't be trans. I don't know.
no, wait, hold on.
If we got rid of these ideas of gender roles and gender expression, like not gender like strict gender roles that people had to fall into, if we got rid of all these rules, like maybe if we stopped
We gotta
focusing so much
wait.
on this gender shit, like maybe I don't know.
These aren't rules. It's not. There's no.
These
there's no-
are
there's
rules.
no
Let's be
rule.
real.
Parents, no.
Do you
Parents
think-
aren't
do you
going
think-
by a list of rules?
They're
going by
societally
what they
accepted
think is
rules.
right.
Societally
Yeah,
accepted.
okay, fine. For society acceptable.
Do you know that the people I listen to, the parents I know that raise kids in non-gender, like non strict gender role ways, if or these people that raise these kids this way, I have to hear that like other parents tell them that they're abusing their kid that way. Just for letting their kid do what they want, like letting their kid dress how they want, wear nail polish if they want, wear like they're told that they're abusing their kid for that. Why? The reason is because society has these understood rules, even if they're not written down somewhere. Like,
Okay. So would you rather? So you rather not be any rules,
I would
and then
rather
think.
that we not try to force things on people. Yes. If a kid goes to the
Okay.
store, if a little girl goes to the store and she only cares about the pink aisle, that's fine. But if a boy goes to that aisle, we shouldn't say no. We shouldn't say no, that's for girls.
Okay, I agreed. But go back to the point where you were raised as a traditional boy, and then
Okay.
you transitioned. Like that just naturally happened. You turned out. You're like no matter what, you would have been where you were at. No
Maybe.
matter
I
how
actually
you
don't
would.
know. So like
Oh, wait.
I believe in a lot of like okay, so here's a question. I know this is gonna sound kind of off topic.
Okay.
Do you, if you had a kid, if you had like a 15-year-old,
Boy or girl?
a girl, let's say a girl. If you had a 15-year-old
Okay.
girl, would you let her hang out with a bunch of like 25-year-old meth addicts?
Hell no.
Why?
Because of my past experiences, and I know what that stuff does to people.
Right. You know that like
I know
your
dangers. I know the
surroundings,
dangers of it.
yeah, your surroundings can absolutely affect you. They have an intense effect on you. So it's really hard to say whether or not like if my upbringing wasn't completely different, if my upbringing was like wildly different, I don't know how I would end up. Now, is there something there might be something like genetic or like internal or something like about being trans? Maybe. I don't know. We don't know. That's impossible. This is like, like the gay gene. Like it's impossible to know these kinds of things.
But well, when science finally figures out that gay people are born and not like mistakes or chosen, like that's what they choose to be, it's just we'll come to that realization. But you can't, like, I wouldn't let my daughter hang out with meth addicts, but you can't say a parent raising their child thinking they're doing the best for them. Like, I know we make mistakes, but you can't say because they want to raise their boy as a boy is
Wait,
the same thing
wait. No,
as,
you can raise your boy as a boy and still let them do feminine things.
yes, like
Right.
you're talking. We're talking about a small percentage of people who don't let them do that.
No,
Like,
no. It's the majority of people who raise their children with these
Majority.
strict gender roles.
in this time,
Yeah, right now.
like, right
Absolutely.
now. Okay.
Do you think if you asked like if you asked 100 people, what percentage of them do you think would say that it was okay if their son asked to try like nail polish?
Or if you ask them personally,
Yeah, if you said, "Hey, is it okay if your son tries nail polish?" Do you think that would be what percentage of them do you think would agree?
30.
What?
30.
You think 30% would say that like their kid can wear nail polish or can't? I'm sorry.
Can.
Yeah, so like 70% would say can't. Like the majority is probably says that that's not an okay thing.
Okay, but what about, let's go, how about broaden the argument? If everybody raised their children, what would be the term non-gendered what? Like,
Yeah, sure.
What's the term we would use?
In a gender
raise their
neutral
children-
way.
Neutral. There we go. That neutral. They raise their children neutral. Now, like, do you see or foresee the more questions and complications of doing such a thing?
What's the complication?
Okay, like, well, my 4-year-old wants to go to the bathroom. Which bathroom should they go in?
Whichever one they want.
Okay, but do you not see the problem of having a unisex bathroom?
No, most bathrooms used to be unisex.
Well, I'm saying, like, the girl doesn't want the boy coming in her bathroom. Or boys, you know how boys are. Like, boys in stalls are just horrible kids sometimes and doing
Sure,
stupid shit.
Kids
and
are
then,
bad regardless,
and-
but are you like white knighting for like little 5-year-old girls now? Like this is like
No, I'm
really
saying, but
weird.
there's a
Like
separation for a reason. Like,
if
there's
you're
a-
saying
there's
that
a-
boys are gonna be like rowdy in the bathroom or whatever, aren't they already gonna be like they're rowdy in their own bathroom too? They could their whole like so you're saying like it's okay if like little boys get hurt, but it's not okay if little girls get hurt?
what I'm what you it's not really just about the little boys, it's about the parents of that daughter, that girl. Like the parents of that girl is going to be upset that the boy was in her bathroom and this happened. Like there's
Why?
more questions and
It's like, wait,
repercussions
are you,
of
wait, I'm
like,
sorry. Do you really think that like no little boy goes into like the other restroom? Like as a kid, when I was like, I was raised as like a boy.
what are we
When I,
talking about? We will have rules and reason why we have separation
there's not a
for
really a good reason to
safety.
have the separation, to be honest. But regardless, when I was raised as like,
You want
no,
your
hold on.
okay, hold on.
When I was raised as a
Okay,
little
okay,
boy,
hold on.
they, I had to go into like the women's restroom with my mom more than once as a kid because that's what parents do. Parents already bring their kids into like the other bathroom, like because kids often need help in the bathroom when they're certain like ages.
Correct.
So like it's
So
not going to
you
be
so
some like
you
a big crazy giant thing if you let like you know kids choose what bathroom they
What are
want to
you,
go
what are you
into.
talking? Like, what are you saying? Are you seriously don't think like bull? Okay, say you have a 13-year-old daughter and she was in a bathroom, and then 13-year-old boys went to that bathroom, and something bad. Now, I'm not talking about horribly happened, but I'm saying like, say it's a bully kid, like kids bully, like what?
I wouldn't want a kid to have to
po-
go into the bathroom with their bully anyways, because that's fucking shit sucks anyways. But it has nothing to do with the
I'm saying,
gender.
cause
What about like the other
what do you
girl
mean it has
bullies?
nothing to do with gender?
What about
Wait,
the other
hold
girl?
on.
Hold on. What about the other girl bullies that might bully like the daughter too? Are you gonna say like that they shouldn't be allowed in that same bathroom? No, this is a really silly argument.
Well, no, I'm saying I'm saying you would be okay with your 13-year-old daughter going to the bathroom, a unisex bathroom with 5 other 13-year-old boys.
Yeah, sure.
And nothing negative would come of that.
I, I cannot promise that nothing negative would come of it, but that it would be. I have just as much knowledge about that situation as I do if a 13-year-old girl went to the bathroom and then 4 13-year-old girls followed her in there. Like 13-year-old girls can be really fucking mean. And
I
also like
understand
can
that, but
hurt
okay,
people.
so there's also like it's not just like we're forcing this upon our children. There's also like a more elaborate why we have rules like this. Like maybe for like you wouldn't mix a certain age group of boys and girls to be
Why?
unsupervised in certain situations.
So
You
wait.
wouldn't like
How do you feel
100.
about like two lesbians going into the bathroom together? Two like 13-year-old
Fat
lesbians?
lesbian.
Stop! Oh my god.
Ooh, that is like
So what rules should we have about that? Should we have like this is the straight bathroom, this is the gay bathroom, this is the trans bathroom? Like what are you asking for?
actually like. Can we talk about that? Like what they
No.
like.
I want you to answer my questions. Okay, so first of all, we'll get back to this in just a second. Did you
Okay.
do you agree that like pink and dresses and dolls are forced upon girls in a way which they're not forced upon boys, and that boys have other stuff forced upon them?
I don't because I don't define it as like I
What do you?
can't
How is it not forced if the child has no say in it and the child is discouraged from the other one?
because it's okay. You have to define. You have to prove that they are being
I have to
discouraged from the
prove
other
that they're
one.
being discouraged.
Yes, you have to be proof to
Okay.
discouraged. The way I'm looking at it is just girls are girls and boys and
So,
boys
but you,
boys
but you
like
are
blue,
okay.
girls like
So,
pink.
is there something inherent about being a girl that means you like pink?
Why you gotta be so like talk so fast?
Because you're arguing that I need to prove that they are discouraged away from it, and you're arguing that hey, girls just like pink. So I'm arguing, is there something inherent about girls that means that they like pink?
Maybe yes, maybe yes.
You think there's something inherent about girls that means that they like pink, even though blue used to be the color for girls and pink used to be the boy color?
How was that? How was that? So
What do you mean? How is that so? Like literally, like back in like the 30s and 40s, like pink was the color that we associated with boys, and blue was the color we associated with blue is the color we associated with girls.
why? Where'd that come from?
We just decided it was just it's like a social thing. Like okay, similarly, makeup used
Okay,
to be
so
worn.
did that
Makeup
make
used
sense?
to be
It
worn
would
by
change.
boys. Makeup used to be worn by boys, and high heels and leggings. These
Because
are
those
things.
boys were actors. Okay.
No, not
But
actors. I'm talking
because
about
a lot-
kings. I'm talking about fucking
No.
princes. I'm talking about fucking like I'm talking about like the rich nobles that they wore like really feminine in our day and age, but to them that was like the height of masculinity. Masculinity
understand
hasn't
that.
always meant like big muscles and fucking, you know, like it hasn't always meant that. Masculinity has changed over time.
I understand what you're saying with the kings and queens and wigs and whatnot, and now it's like this muscle thing, but like in the theater,
No, not
that's
theater. This is not theater. I'm talking about like,
I'm talking about where they got it from.
no,
Kings
they
and
didn't
queens
get it
went
from
to
the theater. Kings, they had it made for them. Not because of theater, because they wanted to show off how great and strong and like they wanted to show, not strong, but like how like powerful they were. That was a sign of power. Was like the high heels, making themselves taller, wearing large, elaborate fucking clothes, because it showed that you had the strength and the money to afford that kind of stuff.
Peacocking, yes, I understand.
My God,
I'm gay.
my girlfriend said that.
Yeah, I heard her. Like, what? Like,
It wasn't an insult. Don't worry.
no.
Look, we're all
So,
gay
like, she was
here.
trying to insult me.
No, she
I didn't say
wasn't.
you're all gay there. Yes, she was. She was hurt. She hurt my feelings.
I'm sorry that she hurt your feelings. That's okay.
I'm
mean,
sensitive.
Okay,
No.
well,
Okay, kings and queens wore these things. I mean, I understand that that's. I mean, technically, that's still kind of the thing today with the army uniforms and bright colors. Peacocking's still a thing, still a part of masculinity. Like the
but
in
definitely not in the same way.
Kingdom.
Like we all know that like wearing high heels is seen as like a feminine thing today, even though it used to be a masculine thing.
Cowboy boots.
It's not really high
And,
heels. It's a little different. But yeah, sure, they have a
oh,
heel
but,
to them. But I mean,
that's just
like
with the heel.
actual high heels, like heels, like. Well,
I understand actual heel heels.
Sure.
I mean, yes, but I mean, they're still the same, but they changed
Well,
slightly.
they're not. They've changed a lot. Our ideas of masculinity and
changed a lot.
femininity have changed a shit ton.
Okay, what's wrong? Okay, and what's wrong with raising a boy as a boy and a girl as a girl?
I'm not saying
Pink
no,
is
no, no.
pink.
I'm saying, what does it mean to be a boy? Why is blue like? Why is that what it means to be a boy? Why is pink what it means to be a girl? What about
Okay,
those
so
is
if we-
inherent to masculinity or femininity? Why are they connected?
Well, does it not like okay? So does it not make any sense to you like a girl pink and boys blue? Like it's like saying,
So
like,
I'm
how do
asking
we
you,
even-
what about pink is inherent to like girls? Why do you associate the two?
It just makes sense.
Why does it make sense? You haven't given me an argument. Give
Okay.
me an argument.
But okay, but why does it not make sense? Like when we grass is called grass for a reason. It's like grass is green, but grass. Like where do we get the names for things? So you said we used to.
No,
be,
this is
well,
not a
we used to be
name. This is
pink.
not a name thing. Grass. We can look at the etymology of grass if you want to. No, no, no.
I'm
I'm
talking
asking.
about what makes sense logically. It makes
With
sense.
logic. What's the logic there?
What do you mean what's the logic there? Well, like why is a girl not like why would you not associate pink with a girl?
Why would
Why would
you?
you not?
You have to prove it. Prove the first bit. Why would you? Give me an argument. You haven't given me an argument.
How would you not?
You're saying
Just-
no. I'm sorry. Your argument right now is it's common sense. You would not accept that on anything else. If I told you right now that like, if I said you're a white nationalist and you said why and I said well, it's obvious. That wouldn't be enough. So tell me, what's the argument? Why is pink associated with girls and why should it be?
But it's. God damn. Tell me why not?
I can't prove a negative. You have to prove the argument. You have to give me
Okay.
an argument so we can talk about it. You haven't given me one.
Wait, no, I don't. Okay, but okay. I have to explain why pink is okay with girls.
I
I
don't
have
think
to
it's
give
okay,
you-
but why is it? Why are you connecting them?
Like,
You said it's obvious why pink should be associated with girls. What is obvious there? Why should it be associated with them?
why is that not?
Stop
In
asking
your-
stop
like-
asking the negative. I cannot prove the negative. We can talk about your argument.
I'm not actually. What I'm trying to say is like, how does it not make sense? Like pink, like what I'm trying to say. Like I'm not trying to argue negative. I'm just saying like,
If you're
in
colorblind, everyone is
your
non-binary.
head,
That's a good meme.
it's like a regular male's head. he would associate pink with a girl.
Why?
Just commonly. That's just
Why?
how would you explain like?
I'm asking why. Like, okay.
No, I know.
Here's an example. I'll give you, and here's, actually, I don't want to use that one because it's actually too connected to this. If someone said, if I said bicycles have two tires usually, and someone said, well, how would you prove that? And I'd say, well, on one hand, I would argue that bicycle in the title, like in the name bicycle, it means like two cycle, like it's two circles, like a two wheels. So like by name, I would argue that most of them probably have two wheels. But on top of that, every bicycle I've ever seen, like 90% of them, 95% have two wheels. And so I feel pretty comfortable in saying that like bicycles have two wheels as a pretty common statement. Now, it's a little bit different. We talk about social things, which is part of my argument here. Hair. We can talk about hair. When we look at somebody has facial hair. I generally associate facial hair with masculinity. Why? Well, because most people I meet who have facial hair turn out to be men. Now, is that always true? No. But most, yeah, sure. So I generally associate hair, facial hair, with masculinity. So why is pink associated with girls? These actually aren't very good arguments. I feel bad about them.
Okay, you grew up when you said masculinity with men because hair and well that's because we can see it. Like you wouldn't if you know like women have facial hair too. You just can't see it because it's very not as detailed as a man's facial hair. But in general, all men and women have facial hair, especially in
and some women even have pretty dark facial hair too.
So yeah. So you see it in men. That's why you associate it with men. So when you see like girls, maybe you just, that's what I guess I'm trying to explain. Like, how do I explain like when I see pink, I associate that with a woman. It's feminine. It's a feminine color.
Oh, is it feminine? Maybe because it's been advertised towards women and we've forced it upon women, and now women have they've grown up with it being, they sell, oh hey look, all the movies I watch, the girls wear pink, all the shows I watch, the girls wear pink, at the store all the girls like aisles are pink. Maybe this is a social thing. Maybe it's a social thing which has been pushed on people.
I know. I don't like. Okay, fine. You can make that argument. Pink is in all the stores. It's in the movies. Girls wear pink pants. They wear the lettering with pink on it. They have pink lipstick. Like colors has been associated with women, but it's not always just that color. I mean, like goth girls and black.
Okay, yeah, but most girls, especially as a kid, as a little baby, most girls that you're gonna end up seeing are not gonna be like goth girls. They're gonna be like the average, the general.
The average, but I mean, don't they go through phases?
Sure, but we're not talking. Look, okay, I'm trying to get you on board with the first bit. Okay, the first bit is that mainstream culture says that pink is associated with girls, and the reason because of that is because that's what we've done to them. We've advertised that to them. We've said at some point in time there were some advertisements that's out there that said, hey, this is like a feminine color. Now, some people might argue that, why did it change? Because pink did used to be the boy color. Someone said in chat, I don't know if this is actually true. So I could be wrong. But someone ended up saying that the part of the reason that pink stopped being associated with boys was because after World War II, after the Nazis, the pink triangle that gay people had to wear in Nazi Germany, that like made people not want to associate pink with boyhood anymore. That pink was like a sign of femininity.
I've never heard that they had to wear a pink.
Really?
Triangle. That sounds ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous. Do you want to look it up?
No, I've heard of the yellow.
Yeah, so Jewish people had to wear a yellow Star of David,
yes,
and gay people who were also rounded up and killed had to wear a pink triangle. I can show you pictures if you want. This is like pretty obvious.
So the Germans put pink patches on gay people, lining them up, and then somehow in America we figured out.
Well, I mean, no. Advertising is kind of like a worldwide thing. It's not been as connected as it is today, but advertising is pretty like it's all connected. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure that like people in America could like, I mean, America was involved in World War II. Like, I'm sure that there was some level of like connection between the two.
Okay, but how is pink not a feminine color? Like, how is that
What
a
isn't?
masculine color?
Wait, what about it is feminine?
What? How can
What
you
about
not
pink is
see?
feminine?
How could you not look at that and be like, "That's a beautiful color"? That color
Isn't
is
blue
its natural
beautiful?
beauty. And when and
Isn't
you
red
know, baby
beautiful?
blue is beautiful. Red is passionate, strong.
Why do you have these associations? What about these colors
This is
gives you these
when do
associations?
I like? Why do I have these associations? This is what I feel when I see these colors.
Okay, but why do you
Like
feel
I
them?
wasn't
Why do you feel
programmed.
them?
Like what?
Why do you feel
Why
that
do
way
I
about
feel?
these colors?
I can't. It's you like.
Why does your
How
brain,
do,
when it sees a color, which is literally just some fucking light that's been reflected off of something, some wavelength of light that's reached your eyeball, that your eyeball has interpreted as a color, and different eyeballs interpret them slightly differently. So I'm curious, why why do you associate some with certain feelings?
that's just okay. So I'm not trying to be like an asshole or I know I'm sounding dumb to your audience and everybody, but like when you look at a color, you feel a certain way. Just like
Why do you
I don't
feel
mean
that
to
way
make this
though?
twist, but it's like the same thing. It's not the same thing, but it's like how does the person explain to see a normal looking person and not notice that they're transgender and see something else?
Wait, you have to say it
Like
again. I didn't follow that. Say it again.
like you're asking me how do I see this color? How do I explain how I see this color? And like why do I see this color in this way? Through my eyeballs. Like how does a person look at another person and that person is transgender and see hate and not love?
Well,
Like I
because people have fear, but that's like a separate thing. I
I understand. I said, but no, looking through the person's eye, like we see things differently. Like you want me to explain why do I associate pink with women?
right.
That's just to me like it just makes sense. It's just a connection. I don't know how I don't like
Maybe
how
the
to think
reason that
about
you're
different
struggling to maybe
researches.
the reason that you're struggling is because what
I
you're
was
doing
programmed that way.
is our brains. It is impossible to remove our brains from our experiences, right? Like you are an amalgamation of your experiences, right?
Easy, yes.
Right.
Well, but I was
growing
raised
up,
that way, right?
you
Is that what
saw
you said
girls
growing
wearing
up?
pink. Growing up, you saw boys wearing blue. Growing up, you saw girls that like they liked flowers and they liked butterflies and they liked shit like that. And you saw boys and they liked monster trucks and dinosaurs and action. Like these are
Well,
things
okay, hold on.
that these groups of
Why is
people
it
like, right?
why is this not why is it wait, hold on. Why is this a thing like we were programmed this way and this is not a natural way of like what nature does? Like when we were cavemen and women, cavemen were strong and did hunting, whatever. Some girls did, of course. I'm not saying they didn't. But there was also a role. There was a gender role of like how you got shit done. Boys like monster trucks, majority. Maybe some did. Some boys like dolls. Majority of girls do. Like, why is this you think this is pushed onto us or we're growing up with this when it's just like a thing that's naturally happens. Like you turn out the way you are now naturally, no matter how you were raised.
Wait. How did I turn out the way I was naturally when I am an amalgamation of my experiences?
That naturally your experiences, you had your experiences, and this is who you are.
So our
Like this is
experiences shape us.
mm. Okay, then we have to make it more. Are we made or are we born?
It's both. So like
You think it's
I would
both?
totally argue that maybe there would be more girls who liked dolls and who liked makeup and who liked nail polish and who liked, this kind of stuff. Maybe there's more, like if we were like in some sort of like ultra natural, however you want to describe it, whatever. Like if there were no societal no societal push whatsoever, right? Like maybe there might be more who like that. But still, just because it's the majority, when it is the majority, I mean, stepping outside of that is seen as doing something wrong. This is one of the reasons that like gay men are so much more hated than like lesbians. Because seeing a man be feminine is seen as like a bad thing because they're not fitting in.
I think a gay man and a butch lesbian are just equally as hated. Like I think it
Maybe.
depends.
But
You
I,
can't
I could I
like
could maybe
obviously
I could
like if it
maybe
was a
take on that
holistic
argument.
lesbian.
We could talk about that, and that's a pretty complex, situation there. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. I would argue that the man is generally more hated because we as a society hate femininity more than we hate masculinity, and so when a girl does masculine things, then like that's good, but when a guy does feminine things, that's like seen as worse.
It has nothing to do with like their actions whatsoever.
What do you mean?
Have you been to a? I wonder how you explain this. Like a straight man going to a gay bar.
Okay.
Like not many men have that experiences.
Okay.
And I've been to a lesbian bar and a gay man bar.
Okay.
But there's like I don't know, is it a stigma or how especially in the 80s or was it the 70s about gay men's sexuality and having promiscuous sex. How they are sometimes.
Wait,
It's
say that
not
again. I'm so sorry.
no you were saying that gay men were hated because of their feminine like being feminine is not good looking.
That's one of the reasons
To
that they're hated, sure. I'm not gonna be like
yes,
this the only
but
one.
it's okay, that's okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, well, isn't there like their sexual promiscuity behavior like not stigma as well? And it's not true.
Aren't isn't one of the biggest like things that guys do with each other is talk about how much fucking pussy they got? Isn't that like a huge thing that guys do like when they're shooting the shit? Look, you don't have to even answer. I was raised as a boy. I remember.
When did you how like when you grew up? When did you make your change?
I
Like
didn't
not
come
like when
out.
you
I didn't come out until after I'd already moved out and started a job. So like I was already like I think I started transitioning at like 19 or 20. But like I was doing certain
19.
things. I was doing certain things that were like in private before.
So like your best closest friends knew, but your
So no. So my closest friends, my male friends, my guy friends, I couldn't tell them. I was terrified to tell them because femininity was so looked down upon. I was so scared that they were gonna hate me for it. So instead,
so
I
are you
had a couple
saying
girlfriends that like I went and I hung out with them instead, and they let me like do makeup and stuff like that and try to figure myself out.
so you acted like a natural alpha male in front of your guy friends?
I was never like a natural alpha male, but I definitely was putting
I
on
don't
the
mean it to be
no,
disrespectful.
no, you don't. Look, I've made a lot of alpha male jokes about myself recently. Don't worry about it. But I wasn't pretending to be like an alpha male. I was actually like a pretty like kind of like counterculture, kind of like kind of gothy, sceney kind of kid. You know what I mean? Where like I wasn't into like sports and shit like that. I was kind of like a nerdier kid. But it was definitely like I totally talked about like fucking pussy and stuff like that with my friends.
No, okay. When you did you come out to any of those friends at all?
I have now, yeah. It took me a little bit, but yeah.
Okay, but did any of them were like, dude, we knew? None of them did,
None of them told me that they knew.
or had an idea or
No,
inkling?
I did a pretty good job of hiding it. Like I did a lot of things. I hid a lot of things from a lot of people growing up. It's not. We don't have to get into all of it.
What state were you in?
I'm in North
That time?
Carolina. I've lived here my whole life. It's a southern
What
state, and so I.
area?
What? I'm not gonna.
What,
I don't want to go too deep.
well, okay. I'm sorry. Well, I don't care. Yeah,
It's okay.
my parents are from North Carolina. My
Oh.
grandparents were tobacco farmers in North Carolina.
What part of North Carolina
Sorry,
are your parents from?
Raleigh.
Okay, I'm pretty close to Raleigh nowadays.
Oh no, that's cool. Like Orange County, like that's. I mean, that's real farm. Like they owned slaves back in the day, kind of shit.
Yeah,
But
some of it, yeah.
um, and I can see how that would be a hard area to come out
Yeah,
in,
it absolutely. It's a very
and
hard area to come out in.
and I appreciate you for like, the strength that you had to do and go through
Thanks.
for all that. But girls were pink. I don't care.
Why do they wear pink? You still haven't told me. You haven't told me. You've
I
said
know, I
you
know, I
said
know
they
I
make
haven't
they
told you,
feels feminine to you, but you still haven't been able to say what is it about pink
Yeah.
that girls like and why. You'd have to also explain why was pink used to be like why did it used to be the boy color?
Okay, well, okay, if, and I'm not saying that you're not right on, if pink used to be for boys, whatever that argument is, but maybe we were
Hey, is an
like
article
growing
from the
up.
Smithsonian good enough as like evidence for this?
Yeah, absolutely, that's fine.
All right, I'll read this to you
If
really, really, really quick because then you can say
okay,
whatever you're going to say. So hold on to it, write it down if you need to. So this
all
says,
right.
when did girls start wearing pink? Every generation brings a new definition of masculinity and femininity that manifests itself in children's dress. Um, Little Franklin Delano Roosevelt sits primly on a stool, his white skirt spread smoothly over his lap, his hands clasping a hat trimmed with a marabou feather, shoulder-length hair, and a patent leather party shoes to complete the ensemble. We find this look unsettling today, yet social convention of 1884, when FDR was photographed at aged 2.5, dictated that boys wore dresses until age 6 or 7, also the time of their first haircut. Franklin's outfit was considered gender neutral. So why have young children's clothing styles changed dramatically? How did we end up with two teams, boys in blue and girls in pink? It's really a story of what happened to neutral clothing, says this person who has explored the meaning of children's clothing for 30 years. For centuries, she says, children wore dainty white dresses up to age 6. What was once a matter of practicality, you dress your baby in white dresses and diapers, white cotton can be bleached, became a matter of, oh my god, if I dress my baby in the wrong thing, they'll grow up perverted. The march towards gender-specific clothes was neither linear nor rapid. Blue and pink arrived, along with other pastels, as colors for babies in the mid-19th century, yet the two colors were not promoted as gender signifiers until just before World War I, and even then, it took time for popular culture to sort things out. For example, a June 1918 article from a trade publication said, the generally accepted rule is that pink is for the boys and blue for the girls. The reason is that pink, being a more decided and stronger color, is more suitable for the boy, while blue, which is more delicate and dainty, is prettier for the girl. Like, these are things that you're when you see pink, the reason you see femininity is because we've associated with that. Because societally, we've made those connections. Societally, we've said, hey, pink, that's for you, girls, that's for you. Be feminine, be in the house, don't go outside, don't get it dirty.
So if we grew up and it was swapped, we would be thinking that exact same thing, like it was blue for girls and
Yeah,
like blue
you would be sitting here
girls.
telling me how blue is a feminine color, and I'd ask you why, and you say it just is. It just naturally is.
So you're telling me I'm programmed to like this color,
Yes, absolutely.
and you don't see pink for girls.
I see pink as a societally accepted color for girls, but I don't think there's
If you
anything
had
inherent about pink that means girl.
just the advertisers and marketers took it over, and
Yeah, absolutely. Like once we
that's
started,
where we're here.
once advertisers started saying, I mean, and it's not even just advertisers, but it could be partially because of that, and also partially because of just societal. At one point in time, someone wore a pink. Someone gave their kid a pink dress, and word spread. I don't know how it happened. We could look super deeply into it, but yeah, absolutely,
Okay,
it's
but
a
okay.
societal thing.
So women only wear pink because they're programmed.
Well, because society's programmed, yeah.
Okay, society. Okay, society's programmed, and majority of women wear pink, and they like pink only because they're programmed that way.
Yeah, sure.
That's the only reason.
Maybe like I don't know if I could say only. There might be some genetic thing that makes some people like pink more than others, but like yeah, most of it seems to be societal. Yeah, that's what most of the evidence points to. Otherwise, you'd have to explain why wasn't it like that before? Why weren't fucking cavemen already separating themselves into the blues and pinks?
Mm. But so if we took away the programming of what girls are associated with, what boys are associated with, we would have more positive toy looking experience.
I don't. I care far less about the actual like toy. about like, you know, like
I
the
know, I
best
understand.
toy
I know.
experience. But like what I do think is that like we would have more well-rounded people. We wouldn't have like the kind of distaste that we have, like the disgust, the kind of weird like just the weird attitudes we have towards like men who don't do everything that's traditionally masculine and women who don't do everything that's like traditionally feminine. That like we would be able to see like a far greater range of the human experience if we didn't limit people.
If we didn't limit people.
We do limit people. If every time I go to the store and I have like a kid, and I say no, you're not going into that aisle. That's the girl aisle. We're going to the boy like aisle. Like yeah, okay. Here's an example. I was like 14 years old and I wanted to buy pink Converse. My dad didn't want to let me do it, and it's not because my dad like hates me. It wasn't because he didn't want me to be feminine. He was afraid that I was going to be made fun of. He was afraid that I was gonna like that people were gonna laugh at me and I wasn't gonna be able to handle it. Essentially,
Okay, so he was protecting you.
he was trying to protect me from a societal. He was trying to protect me from a societal under
Yes.
like a societal like because society believes such a thing that he didn't want me to be hurt. So like this kind of forcing was not necessarily like not all forcing is because it's like they hate people or whatever. They hate like that kind of stuff. But
I hear Boomer.
oh,
Boomer
shit.
sneaking around.
Thanks,
Tapping
Helena
out.
Powell. Thanks for that
Boomer.
subscription.
Step slow,
But
y'all.
the
Boomer.
societal understanding was that pink is for girls, and he didn't want me to be made fun of. So like this, it can manifest in a lot of different ways. It's not one way of forcing.
Yes. Okay. Also, okay. So if we had this freedom of not, we have freedom of options. So freedom of more options, I would say, instead of like certain gender roles. Like, do you think that's a positive thing in the society? In this society,
To give
having
people more
way
options,
more
yeah,
options. Yes, way more options. Do you think that's a positive thing?
absolutely. Why should we limit them?
Why should we limit them? Because some people need. Like, okay, like I don't mean to like make this sound like.
Who needs to be limited in what they can choose to wear?
Like, well, but that just leaves more options for fuck ups for people. Some people.
What's the
some
fuck up?
people
What can I
cannot-
fuck up?
Some people cannot function in society without.
What can I
direction.
fuck up by letting?
No, no.
What can somebody fuck up by letting a little boy play with dolls?
Oh, absolutely nothing. Possibly.
Okay.
Unless we're gonna go in the argument of like that boy grows up to be a gay man and their parents are hated because that boy's gay now. It's like, oh my god.
But the kid was probably going to be gay anyway. It's like we've never seen any sort of
Exactly.
connection between like
Yes.
pink and gays. But regardless, sure, maybe, but that still isn't. That's like society continuing to be bad. And the thing that we're trying to do here is stop. We're trying to limit the number of ways in which society can be prone to be hateful like this. So removing these kinds of limits for boys and girls and how they should grow up, like this would hopefully at some point in time eliminate a lot of that like anti-gay kind of rhetoric.
Okay, I understand that, but I guess that it's just hard for me to see like the negativity of girls being associated with pink. Like, there's nothing.
I don't think there's like something shitty about like associating with girls with pink, but I think there's something shitty about the way it becomes forced. So like if we were in a society where nothing was forced in some way, it's really hard to say that, but where society didn't force anything on anybody. If girls in that society were prone to wear pink more often, I wouldn't care. Like, that's not the thing that I care about. The thing I care about is not like, oh, girls being associated with pink. The thing I care about is like it being forced upon them, societal forcing.
Is it okay? Societal forcing, but you're just saying like it's not. There's another word. Parents forcing their children to be a certain way, and well, that's because of society. But it's not like just because of society. You know, I feel this is becoming. I guess most society is being more comfortable with different gendered people.
This isn't even about different gendered people. This is literally about like the expectations of what someone can be. Like, why do you want to force people? Why do you want to pressure people into believing or into thinking that like boys can only wear blue and girls can only wear pink, and or like that's like what they should wear? Like, why?
Because you would have a lot of confused people.
Wait, no, who's confused?
Wait, hold on. Do you know about the man who's in? He's having a situation with his son or daughter custody case where the mom's gonna like do a sex change on the boy.
The mom
or
isn't
girl.
gonna do a sex change.
No. The mom is gonna allow the boy to have a sex change. He's just a child.
No, they're not.
No.
No.
No, I'm saying, but you heard about. I'm talking about that for example. Like, I'm not talking about like as a general.
I'm telling
thing,
you,
but,
in
like,
that particular example, I can tell this example better than you can. Here's what's happening.
Okay,
Basically,
go
there's
ahead,
a
go
dad
ahead.
who has completely stopped being in contact with their child, completely, 100% stopped being in contact with their child, and the mom is
Okay.
letting that child make decisions about how that child wants to present. They're letting that child wear dresses, letting that child wear makeup, letting that child paint their nails, and the dad is trying to say the mom is abusing the child by letting the child wear whatever the kid wants to wear. There's been nothing about
Okay.
hormones, nothing about sex change, nothing.
Okay, that's great. Good. I'm sorry. I was misinformed because that's why
I know.
I'm catching.
There's a lot of bad stuff about
clickbait
this.
out the ass.
Right.
Yeah, like it was like. Well, I'm telling. What?
No. I want you to know
When-
right now that no surgeon will perform a sex change on a child. It does not happen.
That's great. That's awesome. What I'm talking about is like options. Like, there's too many options. Like, your child is gonna have. I guess my argument was trying to be is like, is too many options negative for a person? When there's like, I can see the positive. I understand there's a positive thing, but I understand when people that need more direction. As a whole,
Who needs
like,
to wait? Why do you
whole-
need direction about the way that you wear, like what clothes you can wear in society? What's the purpose of direction there? What's the purpose of limiting?
Well, like you said before about wearing a kilt to a professional job, you wouldn't be able to wear one. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to wear certain things to a certain job.
Yeah, but why shouldn't you be able to?
There's no reason I can't. So I'm gonna have to come back to this. I'm gonna have to get some notes and do some research and some stuff. But
Yeah, we've been talking for a while. I'll let you get one more big meme out, and then I think we'll have to be done because we've been having this conversation for a little bit. It's been over an hour.
You know what? That's good. I'm not meaning, but
I don't mean
appreciate
meme. I'm
the-
sorry. I don't mean meme like that. I just mean an idea, like whatever.
I like having a conversation with you and like not fighting with somebody about something. I'm sorry I didn't come in more prepared, but
It's okay.
thank you and thanks for everybody that was being nice in the chat and not mean. Like, thank you.
Well, I'm glad that you had the conversation. So wait, can we come to some sort of agreement here for a second that there is nothing about
like,
pink
okay.
that's inherent to women?
There is nothing inherent about pink when it comes to women.
There we go.
I
All
agree.
right. Can I get a quick trans rights from you?
Trans rights.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, thanks for the conversation, buddy. You can come back on
No
another
problem.
time. If you want to have it, if you're honest to God, if you do some research and you want to come back and have this conversation, I would love that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Have a good one, buddy.
You too.
Stop. That conversation hurt in some places, but he said trans rights. That was pretty cool. Did not expect that from him. Are we copying Fosh trans rights? Like Fosh does not have a fucking like tons. No, fuck you. No.
Wait, are you copying Bosch? Bosch also has worn glasses before.
Oh my god. You know what? No,
One time Bosch ate on. Make sure you don't eat your brownie on stream.
Dude sounded like Trihex, did he? Hi, why you copy Vosh? Was me. Who doesn't Vosh? What doesn't Vosh have? Oh, Vosh doesn't have a fucking, yeah, copyright. Thanks for that. I couldn't think of that. A copyright on getting somebody to say trans rights at the end of a conversation. Look, I have heard that I have copied both Vosh and Destiny, even though I've streamed longer than Vosh.
Copy Destiny.
Yeah, coffee Destiny by debating and talking too fast. Yeah, I'm gonna have that, but I want more coffee first. You have surpassed my record max viewers. Yeah, I got a crazy couple of raids. It was pretty wild. What's your record max, Pig Puncher? Also, okay, have you said the gamer word? I have, but not on stream. And I don't say it like it's been a really, really, really long time since I've said the gamer word. Let's be real. Look, we all had our shitty, or I say trans rights in private all the time. What's the gamer word? The N word. The N word is the gamer word. She's saying it constantly this whole stream, someone stop her. I'm like a 40 viewer Andy now on Twitch. That'll change. And it's different than like when you stream and stuff too. Why do we call it the gamer word? Because gamers like